In Part 3 of Lecture 7, we will discuss domain names and connection basics. People remember names better than they do numbers, and that makes it hard to remember IP addresses, whether you are trying to remember 32 ones and zeros or 4 base 10 numbers. And when you're dealing with a 128-bit IP address, remembering it becomes 4 times more difficult. For this reason, Internet destinations usually have names, with each company, school, or organization getting one high-level name called a domain name. This name is going to have to be translated into the corresponding IP address. The mechanism for this is called the domain name system. The top-level domain name is an abbreviation indicating the type of U.S. site that it is, or its country of registration. .edu is an educational institution. .org is a nonprofit organization. .com is a for-profit commercial business. These are all American sites. Since the Internet was invented in the United States, our most blatant sense of ownership is the fact that top-level domain names for U.S. sites don't need to be the 2-letter country code, which in our case is US. Most of these country codes are fairly obvious. Britain is UK, short for United Kingdom. France is FR. Germany is DE, short for Deutschland, the German name for the country. Some aren't as obvious, but they are easy to remember. Canada is CA. China is CN. India is IN. Ireland is IE. And Israel is IL. Domain name servers, the sites that do this translation from names to numbers, are scattered around the world. They all need to have a current list of all domain names and the corresponding IP addresses. The domain name for Nike is Nike.com. This tells us that it is a commercial operation in the United States, and the company is known as Nike. The www is added at the beginning to indicate that this is their web server, providing web pages over the Internet. When someone wants to browse Nike's homepage, the request goes through the user's router. The router requests the IP address matching the Internet address and then gets it. That is the 66.54.56.30 that you see in the illustration. The request then goes out on the Internet to Nike, which returns it to the Internet address that requested it. The Internet is not immune to deception. Hackers have, on occasion, changed entries to the DNS records on a DNS server, replacing the IP address for one belonging to an imposter site. These kinds of changes are called DNS spoofing. Data can travel very quickly over the Internet, but not always at the same speed. Some Internet services are faster than others. There are online tests that can be run to confirm the speed of your Internet connection. A Google search will list several of them. The most common measurement of connection speed is bits per second, or one of its variants, such as kilobits per second. It's important to remember that this is really a measure of your connection's capacity, but it is also the most important variable affecting the time it will take to use any internet software or service, such as YouTube, Skype, or Netflix. The table shows you the recommended download and upload speeds for various services, such as Skype, Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon Prime Video. Most of these services recommend somewhere between 300 kilobits per second and 5 megabits per second. Netflix and Amazon 4K streaming video is the exception here, because of the greater resolution of the picture, which is better than most high-definition standards. You'll notice that only Skype recommends an upload speed. That is because Skype is a telephone service, while the others all provide entertainment, not requiring an upload from the user. YouTube would only require one if you were creating your own video to be posted on YouTube, such as the video that you are watching now. Yes, your ISP limits the speed of your internet service. The problem is that, like automobile traffic, data traffic will move more slowly if you are too close to the maximum capacity of your connections, or even beyond that limit. ISPs need to limit your speed to have enough capacity for other users. That speed limit is called the bandwidth cap. Just as the Long Island Expressway slows down during rush hour, so does the internet, although its rush hours may not be at the same time of day as for cars on the expressway. During these peak hours, ISPs may slow down your connection even further. This is known as bandwidth throttling. Uploads and downloads do not always transmit at the same speed. My ISP is Verizon, using their Fios service, which is a fiber optic connection. My download speed, as measured by Xfinity, is 769.3 megabits per second, while my upload speed is 844.5 megabits per second. What is unusual is that my upload speed is faster. Usually, it is the other way around. If you are wondering why, it's the squeaky wheel principle. In other words, that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Companies respond to complaints, often reactively, sometimes proactively. People are always anxious to keep the streaming video playing and not waiting for the download to continue. And this also applies to music, or pictures, or anything else you are downloading to your machine. While no one wants their uploads to take forever, people are more likely to be patient with uploads than with downloads. If you are getting the same speed for both uploads and downloads, you have a symmetric connection. If not, then you have an asymmetric connection. Whenever you are using any technology, especially where performance is an issue, it is very helpful to have diagnostic software that you can use. In this case, there are several such tools available to us. Ping is a software utility that measures responsiveness. It sends data packets to the destination and can time how long it takes for each packet to get through, and then it will send that time back to us. It will also note if no response came. This way, you can see how likely it is for packets to get through and how long it takes. The ping rate indicates how quickly the data reaches a server and bounces back. Latency is the elapsed time for data to make a round trip from point A to point B and back. Jitter measures how packet latency varies. This is caused by network traffic and the interference caused by it. This can lead to delays on the network. It's clear now why I compare network traffic to traffic on the roads. Generally, there are two possible reasons for your internet connection to slow down. It could be your computer. If you are running multiple programs at the same time, it's possible that your computer is not using enough of its resources to send data out onto the internet. It's also possible that it's your internet connection. Maybe other people in your area who connect to the internet through the same ISP are using it at the same time. In either case, Traceroute, another internet software utility, can show how long it is taking data to go from your computer to its destination. There are a lot of sites at which users can obtain an internet connection. Coffee shops, libraries, college campuses. But most users prefer the convenience of their own connection. This brings to mind the difference between fixed, portable, and mobile internet access. Fixed internet access involves having your computer link to an ISP from a stationary point. While the internet connection may involve wireless links at some point, your computer's immediate connection is wired. If you're not at home, you are depending on somebody else's public access point. Portable internet access means that you can easily move your access point. A vehicle-mounted satellite dish would be an example. Mobile internet access would be connecting on the go. This requires access to a mobile phone service carrier.